everyone, my name's Peter and I am one of Jesus' disciples, and this is my friend John. And oh boy, what a few days we've had. I can't even begin to describe or tell you how we're feeling. I mean, our dearest beloved Jesus was crucified, and then he rose from the dead and appeared to us, and we just couldn't believe it, could we? I mean, wow. And so anyway, so I just want to tell you a bit about what happened after that. So I thought, let's try and do something normal. And so I said, you know what? Let's go fishing. And John said,
we're coming with you.
So we all got into the boat and off we went. Well, what a night. We fished all night. All night. Did we catch anything?
No.
Not a thing. And then the sun started rising, and it was morning, and then John spotted a figure on the shore, didn't you? And there was someone standing, but we couldn't see who it was. But this voice called out to us and said, throw your nets over onto the other side of the boat. And we just thought, who on earth is that giving us instructions? We're the fishermen, we know what we're doing, we don't need anyone to tell us.
Yeah.
Did we? But then we thought, well, you know what, hold on, why not give it a go? Because at the end of the day, we had caught nothing. So we threw the nets over onto the other side, and what happened?
We caught so many we couldn't even pull it up.
I know, the net was so heavy we could hardly lift it in. Anyway, then John said,
look, is that the Lord?
Yeah, he thought it must be the Lord, and I have to tell you, I was just so excited that I couldn't contain myself, and I jumped into the water because I wanted to get to him as quickly as I possibly could. And I left the others having to drag in the fish by themselves. But I did go back and help you, didn't I? At the last minute. So we got all our fish up onto the beach, and then we noticed that Jesus had lit a fire and he was making breakfast for us. How thoughtful was that? Oh, it smelled really good, and oh boy was I hungry after a long night's work. I was super hungry. So we got the fish out of our nets, and do you know how many we caught? Guess how many we caught. Go on, have a guess. 153. Amazing. I tell you, it was a miracle. I mean, some of the other disciples, they were wondering whether it was Jesus or not, weren't they? But you knew, didn't you, John?
Yeah.
You knew for sure it was the Lord. It was amazing. And then I have to say, I was beginning to feel a little bit uncomfortable because I began to remember that I denied Jesus 3 times before he died, and here he was sitting there, and I was thinking, oh, is he going to say anything? Is he going to mention it? Is he going to say, oh, Peter, I remember? But then after a while, once we'd finished eating, he said to me, Peter, do you love me? And I said, Lord, you know that I love you. And then he said, feed my lambs. Didn't know what that meant. Anyway, then he said it a second time. He said, Peter, do you love me? And I said, Lord, you know that I love you. I mean, I was feeling bad about the denial bit, so I really wanted him to know that I loved him. And then he said again, feed my lambs. I was still a bit puzzled. And then a third time, the Lord said to me, Peter, do you love me? And I said, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. And then he said again, feed my lambs. Come and follow me. And it was later that I realised that what he meant was, by feed my lambs, was to go out and tell everyone the good news about Jesus. And that is what I did. And that's it. Bye.
Bye.